Okay, so there's a list of options from A, B, C, D. So initially I thought it was just getting it in terms of tan, but it's not. I think you're meant to find the ratio. So the ratio of T1 over T2. So it's still got a bit of work to do. In the multiple choice, there's mg's here, and that's just W. So W equals mg. So I'm just going to do a little bit of rewriting this. So P over mg, which is the weight, equals T1 minus T2 over T1 plus T2 times tan theta. So if we want to get a ratio of T1 to T2, we're going to have to get T1s on one side, T2s on the other. So I'm just going to bring this tan theta away from the T1s and T2s. So P over mg tan theta equals to T1 minus T2 over T1 plus T2. So there we've got the T1s and T2s by themselves. So there's a question like this in GCSE maths where you're trying to separate some kind of fraction with terms A's and B's in it, and you cross multiply. So it would be T1 plus T2 P over mg tan theta equals to T1 minus T2, like that. And then it kind of gives T1 here, T1 here, T2 here, T2 here. So if I multiply it this bracket, I get T1 P over mg tan theta plus T2 P over mg tan theta equals to T1 minus T2, like that. So now all the T1s and T2s are separate. Oh, here's my previous attempt, which didn't work out very well. So let me just get rid of that. Just ignore that, pretend you never saw it. Let me just continue. So then we want to get T1s onto one side, T2s on the other. So we do T1 P over mg tan theta minus T1 equals to minus T2 P over mg tan theta minus T2, like so. So we've got a minus here, and we've got a minus here. Lots of minuses. Maybe if we multiply everything by minus 1, so T1 plus, sorry, minus T1 minus T1 P over mg tan theta equals to T2 plus T2 P over mg tan theta. Okay, and now we've got T1, T2, we can factorize them. So T1, 1 minus P over mg tan theta equals to T2, 1 plus P over mg tan theta. And then, so the ratio is T1 over T2, so T1 over T2 is 1 plus P over mg tan theta divided by 1 minus P over mg tan theta, which hopefully is one of the options. Let me just see if I just bring this down. Hopefully it matches one of those. Get on the same screen. So 1 plus P over mg sine theta and 1 minus P over mg tan theta. I keep saying sine theta. Looks like it's C, so plus and minus. So in fact, it is C. Yeah, C is correct. I had to do this question. Well, that's the second time I've done it, so not easy. Definitely not easy. And very easy to get lost with the algebra. So it's classified as a very difficult question. I doubt you'd get something as difficult in an exam. So if you don't follow that, then don't worry. It's just extremely difficult question. So I shall pause the video there.